What if I told you the same island that gave the world the Godfather, world-class wine, and endless golden beaches is quietly selling seaside homes for less than the price of a new SUV? That's Sicily today, where entire villages sit half-empty, waiting for someone with vision to bring them back to life. And no, these aren't €1 ruins or crumbling shells. We're talking real homes, steps from the sea, with price tags starting at $35,000. For retirees, that number is life-changing. In the US, $35,000 barely covers a year of rent in many cities. In Sicily, it buys you a front-row seat to sunsets over the Mediterranean, markets overflowing with fresh seafood and lemons, and a lifestyle where neighbors treat you like family. And here's the wildest part. The best properties are still being overlooked. By the time this video ends, you'll see why these forgotten Sicilian towns might just be the most affordable retirement dream left in Europe. 12. Aci Trezza's Fisherman's Row Houses, $35,000. On Sicily's eastern coast, just north of Catania, sits Aci Trezza, a fishing village that feels like stepping into a legend. Off its rocky coast, the jagged sea stacks called I Faraglioni rise dramatically from the waves, the same ones immortalized in Greek mythology as the stones hurled by the Cyclops. But here's the surprise. Row houses, just a short stroll from the waterfront, still list for around €34,000 to €35,000. These are modest two-story homes with balconies where you can watch fishermen mend their nets. Renovations usually run €15,000 to €18,000. Monthly life, utilities about $100, groceries $220, and dinner at a trattoria, grilled sardines, pasta alla norma, and a carafe of red wine, comes in under €12. Public buses connect Aci Trezza to nearby towns for just €1.50, while ferries out of Catania bring you to Malta or mainland Italy within hours. What makes Aci Trezza special isn't just the scenery, it's the rhythm of life. Morning bells mark the start of the fish market, afternoons mean siestas behind cool shutters, and evenings are for gelato on the promenade. Festivals here celebrate both saints and the sea, with fireworks lighting the Mediterranean sky. You can still find villagers weaving fishing baskets by hand, a craft passed down through centuries. Healthcare access is strong, with hospitals in nearby Catania, and the town itself has clinics serving locals and expats alike. Crime here is low, and community life is warm. Neighbors greet you by name after just a few weeks. Emily, a retired painter from Toronto, bought here in 2022. I wanted sea views that would inspire my work. I didn't think I'd ever afford it. Now my studio window looks out at the same sea Homer wrote about. Every brushstroke feels like it's dipped in history. And the best part? My pension stretches further than I ever thought possible. And if Aci Trezza brings mythology to life, Cefalù offers cinematic seaside charm at a price that seems unreal. 11. Cefalù's Hidden Lane Cottages, $34,000. Imagine a town where pastel houses spill down a hillside into turquoise waters, where a medieval cathedral towers over piazzas alive with music. This is Cefalù, one of Sicily's most enchanting seaside destinations. Yet tucked just outside the tourist-packed heart of town are overlooked neighborhoods where stone cottages still list for €34,000. For that price, you're looking at a 1 or 2 bedroom fixer-upper with terracotta floors and wooden shutters that creak open to reveal narrow alleys where neighbors chat from their balconies. Renovations average €10,000 to €15,000, depending on taste. Utilities stay around $100 monthly, groceries hover at $220, and a cappuccino overlooking the sea costs just €1.50. Life here feels timeless. Early mornings bring fishermen selling the day's catch right on the beach, while evenings are filled with the smell of wood-fired pizza ovens and families gathering for the passeggiata, the traditional evening stroll. In summer, festivals transform the streets with music, processions, and fireworks that reflect across the water. In winter, the town slows down, giving retirees quiet days of peace, punctuated only by church bells. Healthcare is close by in Palermo, less than an hour's drive, with hospitals ranked among Italy's best. Safety here is strong, with crime mostly limited to petty theft during peak tourism months. Karen and Michael, retirees from Florida, bought a small 2-story home here in 2021. "We thought Sicily was out of reach," Karen admits, "but when our US rent alone was $1,800 a month, owning here felt like freedom." Now, our biggest problem is deciding whether to have seafood pasta or grilled swordfish for dinner. We even take the train to Palermo for €6 when we want a bigger city fix. It's like everything we dreamed of, but cheaper. And if Cefalù feels like a dream, Trapani will take your breath away, with salt flats glowing at sunset and wine that tastes like liquid sunshine. 10. Trapani's Sunset Terraces, $33,000. On Sicily's western edge lies Trapani, where the horizon glows pink over sprawling salt flats and the sea stretches endlessly. This is a city built on fishing and salt harvesting, but it also hides some of the cheapest seaside apartments in Italy. For €30,000 to €35,000, you can find compact flats with wrought iron balconies that look over the Mediterranean. Renovations typically cost €12,000 to €18,000. Monthly utilities are around $90, groceries about $240, and dining out is laughably affordable. A plate of couscous al pesto, a Trapani specialty, costs €10 to €12, including wine. Trapani's location makes it perfect for retirees who love to explore. Ferries to the Agadi Islands cost less than €5, giving you weekend escapes to pristine beaches and seafood villages. The salt pans glow at sunset, a sight so breathtaking it attracts photographers from around the world. What sets Trapani apart isn't just affordability, it's lifestyle. In summer, the streets fill with processions, music, and lanterns. In winter, the markets overflow with citrus fruit and fresh anchovies. And unlike crowded tourist hubs, Trapani maintains its authenticity. Locals still greet one another in dialect, and bakeries sell bread by weight, not by brand. David, a retired engineer from Canada, bought his flat here for €31,000. "Back home, my pension was barely enough. Here, I wake up to sea breezes and spend my days walking the waterfront. I stopped worrying about money the day I moved in. And every time I sit with neighbors sharing Marsala wine, I remember exactly why I came." But while Trapani offers sunsets, Ragusa feels like a portal to another century. 9. Ragusa's Baroque balconies, $32,000. Ragusa is a jewel carved in golden stone. The old town, Ragusa Ibla, looks like something from a Renaissance painting. Narrow alleys twisting down hillsides, balconies heavy with flowers, and bells echoing from Baroque churches. Yet just outside the tourist heart, homes still list for €30,000 to €32,000. These houses often feature vaulted ceilings, original wooden beams, and tiled courtyards. Renovations range from €12,000 to €20,000, but once restored, they become breathtaking. Imagine sipping espresso under your own archway as church bells echo across the valley. Daily costs are gentle, utilities at $95, groceries around $210, and dinners of truffle pasta and local Nero d'Avola wine at €14. Public transport is reliable, with buses to Modica or Sicily for under €2. Property taxes? Just a few €100 per year. Linda, a retired librarian from Dublin, says, "I thought retirement abroad meant sacrifice. Instead, Ragusa gave me neighbors who treat me like family, music every night, and food that makes every day a celebration. My old life felt small. This feels expensive." But while Ragusa is about stone and history, Noto shines with golden light and homes that make you wonder why anyone ever left. 8. Noto's Golden Glow Homes, $35,000. Known as the Garden of Stone, Noto is pure Baroque fantasy. Its streets glow honey gold under the Sicilian sun, and its cathedrals tower like palaces. But what surprises most people? Small homes here still list for 33,000 to 35,000 euros. Expect ornate balconies, arched doorways, and tiled floors that have seen centuries of footsteps. Renovations average 15,000 euros, while daily life remains affordable. Utilities at $100, groceries $230, espresso for €1, and seafood risotto for 13 euros. Safety is excellent, and the town brims with festivals. From spring flower carpets to religious processions that light the night, walking becomes a way of life. Shops, markets, and cafes are all minutes from your door. Thomas and Maria, a retired couple from New Jersey, bought here in 2019. "We traded suburban traffic for Sicilian sunsets." Thomas laughs. "Back home we had bills. Here, we have community. We haven't used a car in years. We walk, we eat, we live. Our only regret is not moving sooner." But if Noto glows golden, Taormina dazzles with cliffs, amphitheaters, and views that feel like cinema come alive. 7. Taormina's cliffside hideouts, $34,000. Taormina has been Sicily's showpiece for centuries. Aristocrats and celebrities once came here to marvel at its cliffside amphitheater and sea views. Today, you can live nearby for a fraction of the cost. Homes in surrounding villages list for 32,000 to 34,000 euros. Imagine a balcony view of Mount Etna on one side and turquoise sea on the other. Renovations run 12,000 to 20,000 euros, but monthly costs remain light. Rent, if you don't buy, is 350 to 400 euros. Utilities $105, groceries $240, and seafood pasta 11 euros. Eleanor, a retired nurse from the UK, says, "Friends back home thought I was crazy. But here, I live like a millionaire, for less than my old electricity bill. When my grandchildren visit, they can't believe this is where Grandma lives. It's like a vacation for them, but it's everyday life for me. If Taormina is dramatic, Syracuse is historic, a city that's lived a dozen lives and invites you to join the next one." 6. Syracuse's Island Secrets, $33,000. Syracuse was once the crown jewel of ancient Greece. Today, it's a living museum where ruins and Baroque piazzas blend seamlessly. And yet, tucked on the island of Ortigia and in nearby districts, fixer-upper homes still go for 32,000 to 33,000 euros. Picture archways, citrus courtyards, and rooftop terraces with sea breezes. Renovations average 15,000 euros, groceries $220, utilities $100, and an espresso by the harbor €1.20. But Syracuse is more than numbers. It's atmosphere. Ortigia's open-air market bursts each morning with shouts from fishmongers, heaps of blood oranges, and pyramids of capers. The Greek amphitheater still hosts plays in summer, while Baroque piazzas glow under lanterns at night. A retiree here isn't just living cheaply, they're living inside history. Joseph and Ann, retirees from Chicago, say, "We thought retirement meant downsizing. Instead, we upsized. To history, to community, to joy. We pay 400 euros a year in property taxes here, compared to $6,000 back home. Every day feels like winning the lottery." But while Syracuse tells of Greece, Marsala tells of grapes, where sunsets taste like wine and homes cost less than a car back home. 5. Marsala's Wine Coast, $34,000. Marsala is Sicily in a glass, sweet, rich, golden. Its coastline glows at sunset, and its streets smell of citrus and grilled fish. Homes here, especially on the outskirts, still list at 33,000 to 34,000 euros, with renovation costs around 10,000 to 15,000 euros. Daily life is shockingly affordable. Groceries at $210, utilities $95, seafood dinners at 10 euros, and bottles of Marsala wine at 4 euros. Retirees find themselves biking through vineyards, picnicking by the salt pans, and walking beaches that feel endless. Patricia, a retired schoolteacher from Melbourne, laughs. Back home, $34,000 wouldn't get me a parking space. Here, it bought me sunsets. I shop at markets where 20 euros fills 2 baskets, and I've never eaten better in my life. And if Marsala fills your glass, Sciacca fills your soul, with baths, markets, and sea air that heals. 4. Sciacca's Seaside Thermal Retreat, $32,000. Sciacca is Sicily's wellness town, known for its thermal baths, artisanal ceramics, and strong fishing culture. Entire neighborhoods here remain untouched, with homes listing at 31,000 to 32,000 euros. Renovations cost 12,000 to 18,000 euros. Groceries are $200, utilities $90, and seafood meals range 9 to 11 euros. Public buses to Agrigento cost less than 2 euros, and healthcare access is reliable. Frank, a retired firefighter from Boston, says, "I traded snow for sea. My bills dropped in half, and I gained years back on my life. The doctor told me I look healthier here, and I feel it. But if Sciacca is calm, Catania is alive. An urban rhythm at seaside prices." 3. Catania's coastal villages, $35,000. At the base of Mount Etna, Catania hums with energy, markets, music, chaos. But just outside its bustling center, villages hide homes for 34,000 to 35,000 euros. Think 2-story houses with balconies where laundry flaps in the sea breeze, tiled kitchens, and alleys that lead straight to the waterfront. Renovation budgets hover around 15,000 to 20,000 euros. Julia, a retired lawyer from San Diego, says, "Catania gave us concerts, cafes, and seaside views. For less than our old car payment, we sold our SUV, and now we walk everywhere. I never imagined a retirement this vibrant or this cheap." And if Catania is alive, our next stop is serene, Lipari, where island life feels like paradise frozen in time. 2. Lipari, the Aeolian island escape, $34,000. Most people don't realize Sicily isn't just an island. It's the gateway to the Aeolian Islands, a chain of volcanic jewels scattered across the Tyrrhenian Sea. The largest, Lipari, has pastel harbors, stair-stepped lanes, and cliffside homes that once belonged to fishermen. Today, many sit quietly waiting. Prices for compact townhouses hover around 34,000 euros, often with sea view balconies or rooftop terraces. Renovations average 15,000 to 20,000 euros, and the payoff is immense, a home that feels like a Mediterranean dream. Mark, a retired chef from New York, says, "Owning here is like having a private escape. I wake to the sound of church bells and gulls. My pension feels triple its size, and dinners of calamari and wine cost me less than lunch back home. For me, this is paradise." And if Lipari feels like an island escape, our #1 secret brings you back to mainland Sicily. 1. The secret seaside gem, $33,000. Between Palermo and Messina, a cluster of pastel homes clings to cliffs above the Mediterranean. Here, for 33,000 euros, you can own a stone townhouse just steps from the sea. Your balcony overlooks fishing nets drying in the sun. Groceries cost $200, utilities $95, and dinners at local trattorias run just 9 euros. Renovations average 12,000 to 16,000 euros. Sophie and Richard, retirees from London, call it their forever home. "We never thought we'd own seaside property in Europe. Now, every day feels like a film. Our mornings are coffee overlooking the sea. Afternoons are swims, and nights are laughter with friends we never expected to find." It's simple. Young Sicilians leave for the big cities, chasing jobs in Milan, Rome, or abroad. That exodus leaves behind entire neighborhoods of empty homes. Local governments would rather see retirees and new families restore them than watch them crumble. EU investment has changed everything. Roads are modern, fiber internet is installed, and hospitals have improved. You're not buying ruins, you're buying opportunity. Compare it to the US, median home prices at $400,000, rents hitting $3,000, property taxes draining thousands annually, and healthcare eating 20 to 30% of retirement income. In Sicily, you could live on $800 to $1,000 per month, comfortably and fully. And yet, this window won't last. Already, word is spreading. Prices are creeping upward, and some towns are seeing bidding wars. The best time to buy was yesterday. The second best? Before this video ends. So, would you choose sunsets in Cefalù, history in Syracuse, or thermal baths in Sciacca? Tell us in the comments. And if this video opened your eyes, hit subscribe. Because next, we're uncovering Portugal's seaside homes under $40,000. And trust me, you'll want to see what we found. Until then, remember, retirement doesn't have to mean shrinking your dreams. In Sicily, it can mean expanding them into a life richer, fuller, and freer than you ever imagined.